Following content may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Alderman Garza, thank you, Alderman President. We'll go to Alderman Lopez, and Harold and Thompson. Alderman Lopez.
Thank you. You know, before we started this, we're having a conversation about what's going on in our neighborhoods, and it's heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching. But this is what I was trying to get at this morning, is that when downtown is in lockdown, our neighborhoods are next. And our failure to fully get ready for what's going on in the neighborhoods, we're seeing this destruction, and we're thinking that it's going to somehow end tonight. We have seen where in other cities this has gone on for days. And we need to come up with a better plan for days, at least for the next 5 days, to try to stabilize our communities. Right now, Mayor Back in the Yards in Brighton Park, from Halsted almost all the way through to Kedzie, along 47th Street, has been a virtual war zone. Ashland Avenue, which borders between me and Alderman Taylor, has had 400 people and 4 lanes of traffic almost for an hour. And we can't expect our police, and I don't fault them at all, to be able to control this. But I know that we asked our faith base yesterday to stand at the front line between police and looters and rioters. And I am simply not comfortable telling my churches, those people, to be the intermediary in the middle of a riot that's citywide. We need something better, because right now, we only have 370 whatever National Guards on standby. Half our neighborhoods are already obliterated. It's too late. We have to come up with a better plan, because my fear is once they're done looting and rioting and whatever's going to happen tonight, God help us, what happens when they start going after residents, going into the neighborhoods? Once they start trying to break down people's doors so they think they got something, we know that people are here to antagonize and incite, and you've got them all pumped today, they're not going to go to bed at 8 o'clock. They're going to turn their focus in the neighborhoods. I've got gangbangers with AK-47s walking around right now, just waiting to settle some scores. What are we going to do, and what do we tell our residents other than good faith people stand up? It's not going to be enough.
Thank you, Alderman. Next question.
Well, no, I want an answer. You commented on everybody. I want an answer. It's not something you ignore. This is a question that I have.
I think you're 100% full of shit, is what I think. If you think
no offense, fuck you then. Who are you to tell me I'm full of shit?
And if you think that we were not ready and we stood by and let the neighborhood go up, there's nothing intelligent that I can say to you.
Well, maybe you should come out and see what's going on.
The stupidest thing I have ever heard. I understand you want to preen. I understand that you think that you...
Mayor, you need to check your fucking attitude. That's what you need to do.
Every single person...
Right now, no. You need to check your attitude. Wait a minute. I'm being disrespectful. You just told me I'm full of shit. No. You cannot tell me I'm full of shit.
ما بنعرف إذا انفجار ولا لا بس صوب الكل لا ورجت الدنيا رج.
Now, I've directed Superintendent Brown to order all police districts to give special attention to these parties. And this is how it's going to be. We will shut you down, we will cite you, and if we need to, we will arrest you and we will take you to jail. Period. There should be nothing unambiguous about that. Don't make us treat you like a criminal. But if you act like a criminal and you violate the law and you refuse to do what is necessary to save lives in the city in the middle of a pandemic, we will take you to jail, period.
Let's go on. Let's move on. Move on. Let's go. Let's go. You want to take this virus back to your house and get your mama sick? Let's move on.
So we can handle the one before this.
Hey, y'all that overdoing, y'all that need to find the truth. You talking about go home, you go home. Hold up, ball here. Let's just need some help.
One sec.
Don't do it.
They busted that thing down. Hey, they sprayed everything.
Yeah, here at near 55th and Wentworth, actually, Ben, the mayor today apologizing to Congressman Bobby Rush for this, saying the officers involved showed total disregard for their colleagues, the badge, and their duty to serve and protect.
They didn't care. They absolutely didn't care.
Look at this surveillance video inside Congressman Bobby Rush's campaign office on June 1st near 55th and Wentworth. The mayor says after the office was broken into, as many as 13 officers, including 3 supervisors, were seen lounging there while surrounding businesses were burned and looted.
They had their feet up on the desk. One was asleep on my couch at my campaign office. One had his head down on the desk. One was on his cell phone. They even had the unmitigated gall to go and make coffee for themselves and to pop popcorn, my popcorn, in my microwave while looters were tearing apart businesses within their sight, within their reach.
The first deputy police superintendent calling it completely indefensible.
I was standing shoulder to shoulder with hundreds of other officers on State Street as we got pelted with rocks from rioters. I was hit in the leg. The officer standing next to me, part of my security detail, was hit in the head, hit in the helmet. Fortunately, he had his helmet on by the rocks. And that's occurring at the same time.
Promising accountability, the mayor says the strongest possible action should be taken against the officers involved.
Their conduct will confirm the perception that too many people on the south and the west side were left to fend for themselves. And while thousands of officers served honorably on that very difficult weekend and every day since, these individuals did indeed abandon their responsibilities and their obligation and their oath to serve and protect. We should all be disgusted, and we should all feel hurt and betrayed.
And I want to make clear that I know that there are protests still happening in major cities across the United States. I'm just not seeing the reporting on it that I had for the first few weeks.
That's right. But they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. And they're not, this is a movement, I'm telling you. They're not going to stop. And everyone beware, because they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that they're not going to let up, and they should not. And we should not.
As Michelle Obama and Bernie Sanders warned us, if Trump is reelected, things will get even worse.
So let me be as honest and clear as I possibly can. Donald Trump is the wrong president for our country. He has had more than enough time to prove that he can do the job, but he is clearly in over his head. He cannot meet this moment. He simply cannot be who we need him to be for us. It is what it is.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face, and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look, as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
And sadly, the domestic enemies to our voting system and our honoring our Constitution are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not.
If you think we're rallying now, you ain't seen nothing yet.
round of conversation, please. County Governor's bragging about you.
Hello, my name is Portia Bennett. I'm just going to be honest, Mr. Biden. I was told to go off this paper, but I can't. You need the truth, and I'm part of the truth.
And I will code what I really want to say to Donald Trump. It's 2 words. It begins with F, and it ends with you.